Billy Ho here. Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Another stakes weekend coming up on us. And this time we're doing Belmont's Derby Invitational Day, Belmont Oaks Day, several stakes races, but we're going to cover three of those that I picked out. So headliners are Oaks and Derby Invitational. And there is the Delaware Handicap with Idiomatic running, but I'm not going to cover that one. So we're going to do, I believe, the Victory later on as the third race. So anyway, race to 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. I got about 100 or so to go. Please help me out. Share the word. I appreciate all you guys subscribing that already have. So tell a friend, have them subscribe, and we'll get to that 1,000 subs before you know it. So anyway, smash the like and let's go. Okay, ladies first, Belmont Oaks. We have a field of 9. And so I'm going to just start off real quick and say I don't plan on using the 2 and the 3. Strikingly Spun and Sperling Beeg. So I'm just going to start with the 1-horse Mission of Joy, who I like a lot. Grand Motion trainer, Tyler Gaffleone, rider. I love T-Gaff on the turf, inside post especially. So he's got good inside position, good jock. Looked really good at the Regret Stakes on the Churchill Downs turf. I was showing you that right now. So nice win off the third place finish on Oaks Day in the Edgewood. So this is her in her last. She's the 3-horse. So you see her get into position and stalk. And as they turn for home, she splits those rivals and cruises to the win. And also, since we're at it, the 5-horse in this particular race, Papillo, is trained by Mark Cassidy, ridden by Javier Castellano as well, came from farther back and closing some, but no match. So anyway, Papillo has run just behind Mission of Joy in her last 2. So the speed for those 2 are comparable. And so now we have next up the 5-horse is Prerequisite. That's Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz, and also the 6-horse Be Your Best, trained by Horatio De Paz and Luis Saez up. So anyway, I wanted to have these 2 together because they battle in the Wonder Again Stakes at Belmont. And so we're queuing it up here now. In this race, the 5-horse is Prerequisite, which he happens to be the 5-horse here as well. But he grabs the lead early on and sets the pace. Now, the 7-horse in this race is Be Your Best. And he is actually the 6-horse in the race we're talking about today. But keep an eye on the number 7-horse who settles in 5th place right here. And then the race goes on and on and on. And then they hit the turn for home. And Prerequisite goes on to win the race and wire to wire. But he does have to hold off a very hard charging Be Your Best. And you can see him coming up and almost catching him at the wire, but not quite enough to get there. So with that race under his belt, I think maybe Be Your Best might flip it. I think that those 2 are pretty comparable. But if you get a little bit sooner jump, he's going to catch them. But they will all need to deal with Chad Brown's other horse, Asprey, the number 7-horse in this race. So this one's ridden by Flavian Pratt. And closed like a banshee in the Hilltop Stakes win, as you can see on the board there. In this race, she was the 3-horse. She broke fine, settled toward the back. It was a fairly hot. It was only a mile race, I do believe, but 46 half mile to set up the huge close. Now you can see her on the far outside, run right by everybody for the win. So the added distance may improve. So obviously a top contender. So what we're looking at here And let's just start all over here. And so I might box the 1, 5, 6, 7 if I did a trifecta, but I don't know. An exacta I think would be like a 1, 7 over 1, 5, 6, 7. That's the two horses that I think. But I 2 over 4 is not terrible for an exacta bet. That's only $6. I made an exacta bet similar to that last week, and it paid $4.78. So sometimes you get burned, but sometimes you'll get one in there that's got some value to it and you make a little money. Or, you can always go for the full exacta, or you split that into a try is what you can do. And for $1, I'll show you how much that costs. And it was the 1, 7. Now you don't want to go stone cold 1, 7 and then the other four. So we'll just do 5 and 6. 1. $12. Not bad at all. So that's kind of how the route I would take for that one. So now next up, I do believe next up is the Belmont Derby Invitational on the turf. And so we're going to start with Mendelssohn's March. Placed first in his career debut at Fairgrounds, son of Mendelssohn. He tried the dirt a couple of times, but didn't work out. Went back to the grass for trainer Kenny McPeak. Had trouble when he was beaten less than 5 lengths in the American turf 2 starts back, but he had a little trouble there. He finished second in the Audubon Stakes, both races at Churchill Downs, and both of them, funny enough, won by Web Slinger in this race. But he does have some early speed, so I'm not really considering him exactly. Boppy O is next, son of Bolt d'Oro, 3 of 10 overall. Mark Casse trainer. It's a eight stakes try on the turf. Graded winner as a juvenile, but kind of consistent, but might not have the distance in the class of this competition, so I'm going to pass. Cyber Ninja, Bill Mott, switched the grass, sparked a late rally to just miss by a head on a mile at Keeneland race last out. Well, that was before. Last out, he easily handled maiden competition at Belmont when he stretched out to 11 furlongs. So he's got the potential to be a solid graded stakes type of horse on the lawn, but I think he's not quite ready for prime time here. So next up, we have the winner I just mentioned, Web Slinger, 3-time stakes winner, has won 4 of his 8 career turf starts and has been competitive in the others. So 2 starts back, he earned his biggest career win by rallying late to actually beat Far Bridge in the graded 2 American turf. So he kind of backed that up, which was an upset, with the win in the Audubon Stakes. Also Churchill Downs. He's Mark Casse trained. He should not have a problem with the 10 furlongs, but it will be a tough test nonetheless. So next, one of my favorites in this race, Far Bridge, son of English Channel, with only 2 career wins in 4 tries, but he did lose just by a nose 2 starts back in his stakes debut. Had a bit of a rough trip, and I'm going to show you that here in just a minute, so stick around for that. It's kind of important. So was beaten by Calic, who's in this race. He's trained by Todd Pletcher, and so he's bred to run long and on the grass. English Channel. I mean, obviously, anybody who knows about backdated, English Channel was like a super, super, super great turf horse. So anyway, he should be there Saturday, I think, and perhaps this time he'll have a little bit better luck, as I'll show you in a minute. It is a loaded field, but I think he is one of the most likely winners of the race. So next up, Silver Knot. Charlie Appleby is pretty solid at bringing over these European turf horses, and he had a pretty strong second last fall. Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Last month, he was beaten just a length while trying to rally into a slow pace in the Pennine Ridge Stakes. Faster pace here, he could win this with a small move forward. Now, Wizard of Westwood, California shipper, looks to have the most speed in the race. And if this race sets up with not a whole lot of early speed and he can get out on the lead and sit down, this Michael McCarthy trained horse, 5 starts in his career, hasn't run a bad race. He had 3 straight really near misses, but then he goes on to win the Cinema Stakes last time out. That victory was at the time the same 10 furlong distance, which he will see Saturday. I think he's pretty solid value play, honestly. I've heard whispers of a win bet. And the next one up, Calic, trained by Chad Brown. He's been good since switching to the grass 4 starts back. He's rattled off 3 straight to begin the year. His last 2 are his best yet, as he went right to the lead to dominate an allowance at Belmont before coming back 4 weeks later. And he won that. I'm not taking anything away from him. He won that Pennine Ridge. So, but he did get pretty easy pace in both of these races, and he will not see that here. So I think maybe if he gets out front, he might hold on for a slice possibility. Excuse me. Mondego, a pair of competitive races to be in his career, trained by Christopher Clement, and he is a top turf trainer in the business. He's got some potential. Mondego has some potential to be really good, but he just hasn't shown enough yet for me to go with. So I am not on him. Next up is redirecting, the second of 2 from Chad Brown in this race. In his only career start, he was sent off at 2-1 and dominated in a Belmont Park maiden race, winning by nearly 5 lengths. But I think he needs a little more, not quite ready for prime time, in my opinion. The last horse, the 11 horse, is the Foxes. And this Irish bred son of Churchill, not going to have a problem with the 1.25 miles for sure. In fact, he's dropping in distance. I believe the 12 furlong Epsom Derby was his last race. So he was getting very good late in his juvenile season for trainer Andrew Balding, and he has carried over that good form into 2023. Solid second in the Group 3 Craven to begin the season. He followed that up with a good score in the Group 2 Dante Stakes at 10.5 furlongs. So this will be his U.S. debut. So if he can bring his best, he would be a major threat to win the whole thing. Okay, over to the gambling calculator once again. And there are a lot to choose from in this race. And I basically narrowed it down. I'm probably going to have to do some more work before Saturday, but just to line it out for you, I think we'll just do an exacta for now. Well, let's set it on trifecta. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 11 is basically what I'm working with. So if you go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, and you box them, that's going to be a lot of money. So like I said, what I would do with those is if you're playing a pick 5, that's the ones I would spread, because you can always find a single somewhere, and you're definitely going to have to find some value in a pick 5. But they have a big pick 5 purse coming up this weekend. So, but I am an all-time fan of English Channel as a turf horse. So I'm having the 5 Farbridge in the win column. So basically, this is what I came up with toward the end, is taking a look at the Pennine Ridge Stakes here. The 4 horses Silver Knot. And you see he breaks very poorly here, but steadies inside to save ground. So watching this race, you see the turn for home, he makes a huge move. He has to move out to a 4-path, and that slight glitch right there down the turn cost him just enough. But I actually think the Foxes certainly looks formidable too, but I think they both outduel Calic. So Farbridge and Silver Knot I like more than Calic. The Foxes looks formidable. I like to turn back to 10 from 12, but I'm taking a stand against the win. So if I was forced to do, say like an exacta, I would narrow that down to a 5, 6 up top, and then a 7, 8, and 11. Whoops. Forgot I was boxing. Unbox 11. So 5, 6 up top, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 underneath, $8 bet. That's not too bad. It spreads you out, but you are definitely narrowing it down. So it is a risky move. So that's kind of where I came up with that. And that'll be all for that one. And the last one is actually I'm just gonna not spend a ton of time on. I've kept you long enough. Appreciate you. If you're still here hanging in with me, race to 1,000 subscribers. Spread the word. I should get there soon with your help. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for watching. And the last race I'm going to do is Victory Ride today. So, like I said, the favorite is the 5 Maple Leaf Mel. I like the 8 Red Carpet Ready. I also have to include Chad and Brad, the 1 and 2 horses, Interpolate and Dazzling Blue. So, you got Chad Brown and Irad Ortiz to get it done. I think that's the one horse I think's got a really good chance to win. But there's also Vava, and that is a daughter of Gunrunner, so I might have to put her in there somewhere. But if I go, we'll take another look at the betting calculator. You're spreading too thin if you have 5 horses underneath. But like, say if I went 1, 8, then I go 1, 8 down here, all 3 positions, and I guess we'll go 2, 4, 5. So 2, 4, 5. So that's what it would look like for $24, basically. So not a bad trifecta bet, and it does have some potential to cash out a decent hit. So anyway, that's going to do it for the Belmont Invitational Derby Turfus. Appreciate you joining me. Thanks a lot. Did a lot of shows today, so I'm kind of fading out toward the end with my voice. But I appreciate you joining me if you did. So until the next time, see you soon.